On the morning of September 7th, 2012, inside a small off-campus apartment in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, a crime unfolded so brutal, so intimate, and so baffling that even today, it feels like a puzzle missing its final pieces. This is the murder of Faith Danielle Hedgepeth, a case overflowing with evidence, yet starved of answers. Faith was only 19. A UNC sophomore, a first-generation college student who carried the hopes of her family and her entire Saponi community. She radiated ambition and kindness. Everyone who knew her believed she was destined for something extraordinary. But destiny had something darker planned. On the evening of September 6th, Faith spent time with her roommate, Corinna Rosario. They studied at the library, grabbed food together, and later visited a popular nightclub called The Thrill. It was a normal night out for two college friends. They laughed, danced, and took photos. There was nothing, absolutely nothing, to foreshadow what was coming. Shortly after 2 a.m., Faith and Corinna returned to their apartment complex, Hawthorne at the View. Surveillance cameras confirmed everything. Forensic phone data placed them home. The night remained calm. Faith was tired, and Corinna recalled that she fell asleep quickly. It was supposed to be an ordinary night. But at around 3 a.m., Corinna left the apartment with another friend, borrowing Faith's car. She said she needed space after an argument with a guy she'd been seeing. She told investigators Faith was asleep when she walked out. And then, Faith was alone. At 3:40 a.m., something happened. Faith's phone showed a message typed to a close friend. The words read, "I need you more than ever. Please let me know you are okay." But the message was never sent. Was it Faith? Was someone else holding her phone? Was she already in danger? That small, haunting detail has never been fully explained. Minutes later, Facebook data showed activity on Faith's account. A login, a brief entry, and then nothing. After that, her digital presence went silent. No calls, no messages, no footsteps heard by neighbors. Just a dark gap in time where something violent and chaotic erupted behind a closed door. At around 11 a.m., Corinna returned to the apartment with a friend. The door was unlocked. She called out for Faith. No answer. She walked down the hallway toward the bedroom, and what she saw next would never leave her memory. Faith was on the floor, covered in blood. The brutality was overwhelming. She had been beaten repeatedly in the head with a liquor bottle, a bottle that laid shattered and soaked in blood near her body. The amount of force used was staggering. This was not a quick attack. It was rage, unleashed. Beside her, investigators found something even more disturbing. A handwritten note scrawled on a fast food takeout bag. It read,
"I'm not stupid, but jealous."
The handwriting, the message, everything about it felt strange, theatrical, almost taunting. Was it written by the killer mid-attack? Before? After? Was it staged to mislead investigators? Or was it an authentic explosion of anger? No one knows, but its presence changed everything. The crime scene contained DNA. A lot of it. Biological material from a male suspect, semen, blood, and touch DNA throughout the room. Whoever killed Faith left a clear genetic fingerprint behind. Investigators believed the killer was inside that apartment for a significant amount of time. Long enough to write a note. Long enough to assault her violently. Long enough to leave traces everywhere. And yet, identifying him was not as simple as it should have been. With no forced entry, police believed Faith either knew her killer or trusted them enough to let them inside. Because the attack happened at night, quietly, with neighbors hearing little more than a faint thump, investigators suspected the killer acted with purpose. The murder felt personal, emotional, driven by jealousy, anger, or fixation. Police questioned everyone close to Faith and Corinna. Corinna's ex-boyfriend, who had a documented history of violent behavior, was one of the first considered. Months earlier, he had physically attacked Karena, while Faith tried to protect her. In response, Karena filed a restraining order. This history created a storm of online speculation. Many people were convinced he was involved, but the DNA did not match. Another suspect eliminated. Faith's ex, friends from the club, classmates. One of the most widely discussed pieces of evidence became the 911 call, a 7-minute recording of Karena's voice as she spoke to dispatch after finding Faith's body.
911, where is your emergency?
I just walked into my apartment and my friend was like being unconscious.
Okay, what's your address, ma'am?
It was at home at the view.
Give me the address.
I just moved here. I'm not.
She sounded distressed but strangely calm. Her pauses, her phrasing, the confusion in her tone, all of it triggered intense public reactions. Some listeners insisted she sounded guilty. Others believed she was simply in shock. Investigators have never named her as a suspect, but the internet has never stopped questioning her role in the timeline. As evidence piled up, investigators turned to new technology. A company using DNA phenotyping created a composite image of the suspect, guessing his appearance based solely on DNA markers. The image suggested a young male, possibly with Native American or Latino ancestry, dark hair, brown eyes. It was a lead for years. The case stalled. Faith's family begged for answers. The Chapel Hill Police Department faced criticism for slow progress. And online sleuths poured through every detail: the text message, the timeline, the note, the DNA, the boyfriend drama, the 911 call, trying to assemble the puzzle. But the final piece stayed missing. Then, in September 2021, nearly 10 years later, everything changed. During a routine database search, a hit finally came back. A 28-year-old man named Miguel Enrique Salguero Olivares matched the DNA from the crime scene. Not 80%, not 90%, a full match. Investigators had found the man whose biological material was in Faith's bedroom. Miguel had no known connection to Faith. He wasn't a student. He wasn't a friend. He wasn't at the club that night. The mystery deepened. How did he get inside? Did Faith know him at all? And if she didn't, how did he pick her apartment? Some investigators believe he may have followed the girls home. Others think he knew Karena. To this day, none of that has been definitively proven. But before the trial could reveal the truth, Salguero Olivares died in jail in August 2024. His death was reported as suicide. Just like that, the case hit another wall. The only person who could explain what happened that night, the only person whose DNA was tied directly to the crime, was gone. And with him, the answers Faith's family had waited more than a decade for. Now, the case sits in a strange, painful limbo. The DNA says the killer was found. But the motive, the connection, the how, the why, all of it remains unspoken. Investigators have hinted that they are not fully convinced he acted alone. Some evidence suggests more than one person may have been present. But without a confession and without a trial, those questions remain suspended in uncertainty. What happened inside that apartment between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. remains one of North Carolina's most disturbing mysteries. A bright young woman, a violent attack, a chilling note, a suspect who appeared out of nowhere, and a final twist that robbed the world of the truth. Until the full story comes to light, the question lingers in the dark. Who killed Faith Hedgepeth? And what really happened that night?